Okay, we're doing a video on how to make your air car wheels with Google Sketchup. Go to your Launchpad, open up Sketchup, and once this window pops up, choose Template, and you want to do this simple template, feet and inches, and just click Start using SketchUp. Now, once you get to the program, go ahead and you can get rid of the person that's there. Make sure you keep everything clear. Don't go and click something and draw way out here. It will eventually mess up your drawing when we go to print out on the 3D printer. So the first thing we do is we'll grab our circle tool, okay, which is right here. Make sure that we start in the origin, okay, that center dot of that circle will turn yellow, and you'll also see the word origin pop up. Just click once, and then we can drag our circle out, and we'll go clear down here to the right corner where it says radius. We will type in our 11/16 inch radius and hit enter. Now, some of them disappear, some of them don't. All you need to do is come up to the top, and the magnifying glass with the 3 arrows on it, just click that once, and it brings it right back. I like to orbit mine a little so I can see a little bit better. Select our circle tool, make sure you're in the center again. Come down here, and now we'll need a 9/16 circle. Hit enter, and we have to draw 2 more. Next one is 1/8, and the final circle is 1/16. And right here is your outline of your wheel, where this would be essentially the tire. There is going to be the axle hole in the middle there, and I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of that. This is going to be a nub that comes up, and then in this area here is where you would design your rim. The one I'm going to do is very basic and doesn't take much time at all. So I select the line, and I'm going to hit it to where my pencil lands on an end point. And we go through the middle, cross to the other side, and it says end point again. And then I click. Try and do that same thing over here, and you can see a bunch of different things pop up when I get there. Go through, and right there. Now, this is a very simple wheel design. I want you to be a little bit more creative than I am. So now I'm gonna stop there, and what I do is go back to my mouse pointer, and I'm gonna delete all of these different things right there. So I have my hole in the middle. So this is gonna be essentially the look of my wheel. But I've got a bunch of these extra lines here. You need to get rid of those lines. To get rid of them, you're just gonna go around and delete all of these different lines here that you've got, so it's all one piece instead of having everything segmented out. So just like this, there are no extra lines other than the lines that contrast or show that there's a cut somewhere. Okay, so we're going to leave it just like that. Next step is go to your push-pull tool and select your whole wheel, and you're going to raise that up 1/8 of an inch. Okay, so you could either slowly step it up or come down to where it says distance in the bottom right, type in 1/8 and hit enter. And just like that, that's the thickness of the wheel. Now we have to draw our nub, which you want to make sure that you can see all these lines. Some of you might have to flip your wheel over. Mine stayed. So what I'm going to do is go back to my circle tool, and if you see it's on the origin, so I click, but now you can see how my circle is not drawing the correct direction. What we need to do is orbit this, kind of rotate it towards you so you're looking more like you're looking straight down on it, and then start to draw your first circle. But as you do that, you want to make sure that you're in the correct spot, because even though I'm on my line here, you can still see that that blue and black line are off. You want to make sure those two line right up, and then click. And you will get that circle filled back in, which is not a big deal. We'll cover that in just a second. And you want to do the same thing for the 1/8 radius circle. And you click. Now I'm going to zoom back out. All we have to do is delete that, and the middle. So we are just left with this circle here, and we already have our hole, and that circle there. Go back to our push-pull tool, and we want to raise that up 1/8 of an inch. Once we do that, you can notice we've got these lines right here. There's a couple on the other side too. We want to get rid of any extra line that we don't need. So I have to spin it around to get these two. And then one place most people forget to look is in the inside there. We have to take out that line right there. So now what we're going to do is flip it over. Make sure we have every extra line that we don't need in there. Now, you might think you need to get rid of this one. If you try and get rid of that line, it causes a lot of issues. Okay, so if that happens, just Command Z, undo it, and we're good to go. Once you get your wheel totally done, or to where you think it's done, what you need to do is select your pointer. You can either triple click on your wheel, which selects everything, or you can just draw a box around it like that, and then you will right click. You'll make everything a group. You'll right click again, go to Entity Info, and right here is what we're looking for. We want to make sure that that says solid group. Okay, so that says solid group. That means we are good to go. After that says solid group, we right click on it and we'll click explode, which now gets us back to where we are able to draw on our wheel again. If you do not do that, you will have issues if you have to replace anything. I'm going to try, there we go. So I've got that circle on the inside back. I'm going to see if that will mess with anything when we go to check to see if it's a solid group. Yep, so there, our wheel just says group right now, and it's all because of this line on the inside that we didn't delete. Okay, so it says group. I come back here, I explode it. Best thing to do after you explode it, don't click yet, go to your orbit tool and look around your wheel, because there'll be something that looks out of place, and you can see it right there. That line doesn't look like it belongs there. So what we're going to do, get rid of that, and just to show you that's what it was, right there we're good to go. So we have a solid group. Now we are able to save our wheel. So to save your wheel, go up to File, come down to Save As, and you'll save it as your last name. I'm just going to type last name in here and make sure that it is saved to your desktop so it's easily accessible. Then click Save. Once that's done, you can exit out and come find it. So right here it is, and there's my wheel. And that right there is very briefly on how to make one of the wheels for your air cars that we will be doing second semester.